Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We're about to start a very important session on internal training and awareness. The focus is on empowering our teams to use AI responsibly and stay secure. The title of today's presentation is For Internal Training and Awareness, and the subtitle is Empowering Teams to Use AI Responsibly and Stay Secure. We'll be covering key do's and don'ts, how our organization can effectively utilize AI tools, and what best practices to follow. So, let's dive in and explore how we can work smarter and safer with AI together. Let's take a closer look at some of the key ways AI is transforming the workplace today. For customer support, AI helps us provide faster and more efficient responses, improving the overall customer experience. In research and summaries, AI accelerates the process of gathering and condensing information, saving us valuable time. When it comes to code generation, AI tools assist developers by suggesting or even writing code, boosting productivity. For data analysis, AI enables us to uncover insights more quickly and accurately, which supports better decision-making. And in writing and drafting, AI can help generate content, ideas, or edits, freeing up human creativity for more strategic tasks. The big takeaway here is that AI is no longer a luxury. It's a must-have to stay competitive. With AI-assisted insights, we can make decisions faster, which is crucial in today's fast-paced environment. Early adopters report that routine tasks are being automated about 60% of the time, freeing up their teams to focus on higher-value work. And overall, they see a productivity boost of around 3 times what they could achieve without AI. So, why is AI so important in the workplace? Simply put, it enhances efficiency, fosters innovation, and helps us stay ahead. It's about leveraging this powerful technology responsibly to unlock new possibilities and drive success. Let's start by staying informed on the latest AI developments and understanding how your organization's policies are evolving around this technology. It's crucial to keep up to date so that you're always working within the current guidelines. Next, upskill continuously. As AI tools become more integrated into our workflows, it's important to record when and how you're using these tools. This not only helps with audit trails, but also promotes accountability across the organization. Another key point is documenting AI usage. Keeping track of how and where AI is applied ensures transparency and helps us learn from our experiences with these tools. When working with sensitive information, always anonymize or remove any confidential data before entering it into any AI system. Protecting this data is essential to maintaining trust and compliance. It's also important to keep humans in the loop for critical decisions. AI is there to assist, but ultimately, it doesn't replace human judgment, especially in situations that require nuanced understanding or ethical considerations. Make sure you're using only organizationally vetted and approved AI platforms. Sticking to approved tools ensures that we're compliant with regulations and internal policies. And finally, always verify the outputs from AI before publishing or sharing externally. Fact-checking helps prevent the spread of inaccuracies and maintains our credibility. These practices, staying informed, continuous upskilling, documenting AI use, protecting data, maintaining human oversight, using approved tools, and verifying outputs, are the key do's for responsible AI use. They help us harness AI effectively while safeguarding our organization and its values. When using AI to create or assist with deliverables, it's crucial to be transparent about it. Always disclose when AI has been involved to maintain trust and clarity. Remember, especially in high-stakes decisions like HR, legal, or financial matters, human judgment must always be part of the process. AI can be a helpful tool, but it shouldn't replace our critical thinking when the stakes are high. Be cautious about over-automating decisions, as relying too much on AI can lead to errors or oversight. Also, AI-generated content might infringe on copyright, so it's essential to check usage rights and ownership policies before sharing or publishing anything. Never ignore intellectual property rights. Respecting ownership is fundamental. Another important point is shadow IT. Using unapproved AI tools can create compliance gaps and security vulnerabilities. Always stick to approved tools to ensure security and compliance. And remember, AI can sometimes hallucinate or produce inaccurate information, so never submit AI-generated content without reviewing it carefully. You need to verify the output before using it. Finally, avoid inputting personal, financial, or confidential client information into public AI tools. Protecting client data is non-negotiable. These are the common pitfalls to watch out for. Being aware of these don'ts helps us use AI responsibly and ethically, aligning with our overall goal of maintaining trust and integrity in our work. Let's talk about how we should handle sensitive information when working with AI. First, it's crucial to use enterprise or private AI deployments for any sensitive work. These environments are specifically designed to protect confidential data. If you do happen to accidentally expose data, make sure to report it immediately to IT security so they can take swift action. When analyzing data, always anonymize it first. Remove names, IDs, and contact details, so personal information isn't at risk. Remember, GDPR and other data protection laws still apply when you're working with AI, so compliance is key. Think of AI tools like public search engines. Treat everything you input as potentially visible to others. Always assume your inputs could be seen, so be cautious. Now, let's go over the golden rules for inputting data into AI tools. Never input anything marked as restricted or confidential. Those are off limits. When in doubt, anonymize the data first. Be very cautious with internal information, and only input data classified as public if you're certain it's safe. In summary, always follow these data classification guidelines to protect privacy and security. Use dedicated environments for sensitive data, anonymize before analysis, and be mindful of what you share. This way, we can effectively leverage AI while keeping our data safe and compliant. Let's talk about our governance and policy framework, which is essential for ensuring responsible AI use. First, under ethics, we have a regular ethics review board that meets routinely to assess our AI practices. Transparency with stakeholders is also crucial, so we keep open lines of communication about how AI is applied and decisions are made. Fairness in automated decisions is a core value, and we actively monitor for biases in AI outputs to prevent unfair treatment. Additionally, we log usage and retain data responsibly, making sure our records are thorough for accountability. Contract reviews include specific clauses related to AI, and we maintain an approved vendor list to ensure trusted partnerships. Importantly, we align with GDPR and other regulatory standards to stay compliant. Moving to compliance, we have a clear escalation process in place for addressing issues that arise with AI systems. We perform regular usage audits to verify that our AI tools are used appropriately and ethically. Clear ownership of AI outputs is assigned to designated individuals, ensuring accountability. Finally, each department has a designated AI lead to oversee implementation and adherence to these standards. All of these elements, ethics, compliance, and accountability, work together to create a comprehensive governance framework that guides our responsible AI practices and aligns with our overall mission. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the critical vulnerabilities and active threats we're seeing across different domains. Starting with web shells, there's a notable unauthenticated remote code execution attack that's been delivering web shells, specifically targeting Tomcat components. This attack has been observed in the wild and highlights how attackers can exploit unprotected web servers to gain persistent access. Moving on to network and identity, the Cisco Identity Services Engine, or ISE, has a critical vulnerability, CVE 202520337, with a CVSS score of 10. That's a perfect severity rating, indicating the potential for full system compromise through remote code execution. What's alarming here is that a public proof of concept is already available, making exploitation even more accessible. Next, we see a serious issue with MongoDB servers. There's a heap memory leak vulnerability, CVE 202514847, which has a CVSS score of 8.2. Around 87,000 instances worldwide are vulnerable, emphasizing the widespread risk. In the enterprise application space, SAP NetWeaver is affected by a critical remote code execution vulnerability, CVE 202531324, with a CVSS score of 10. This specific flaw allows attackers to execute code remotely, which could lead to significant operational disruptions or data breaches. On the configuration side, there's an important case involving Fortinet products, FortiOS and FortiWeb, where an authentication bypass vulnerability exists, CVE 202559718, with a CVSS of 9.1. This flaw enables attackers to bypass security controls and potentially access sensitive information. We're also seeing the China Nexus apt group exploiting a vulnerability in their campaigns. They use unauthenticated remote code execution via insecure deserialization in their attacks, and this vulnerability is linked to ransomware activities, making it especially dangerous. In the enterprise on-premises environment, Microsoft SharePoint is affected by a critical vulnerability, CVE 202553770, with a CVSS score of 9.8. This allows for unauthenticated remote code execution through a single HTTP request, which is a significant threat. In the web and cloud domain, React and Next.js applications are targeted by the React-to-Shell vulnerability, CVE 202555182, with a perfect CVSS score of 10. This is actively exploited and affects organizations across multiple sectors, as reported in the CISA KEV catalog. Overall, what we're seeing is a landscape full of high-severity vulnerabilities, many of which are actively exploited right now. It underscores the importance of proactive patching, monitoring, and resilient security strategies to defend against these evolving threats. Let's take a closer look at the key actions your organization needs to prioritize right now. First, it's crucial to run vulnerability scans after applying patches to confirm that the issues have been successfully remediated. Make sure to coordinate with your security team on this step. Next, if your systems like FortiGate, SharePoint, or MongoDB were exposed, assume that credentials may have been compromised. Rotate those credentials immediately to prevent further misuse. Additionally, disable any features you're not actively using, such as FortiCloud SSO, RRAS, or legacy protocols. This helps reduce your attack surface. To stay ahead of threats, subscribe to CISA's known exploited vulnerabilities catalog for real-time alerts. This keeps you informed of active exploits targeting your environment. It's also essential to maintain an accurate inventory of your software products. Know what versions you're running across Cisco, Fortinet, SAP, Microsoft, and others. This knowledge allows you to prioritize patches effectively. Speaking of patches, apply all critical updates within 72 hours of their release, especially for internet-facing systems, because they are the most vulnerable. Now, let's look at some key vulnerabilities you should be aware of. For example, the critical CVE 202543300 affects Apple iOS, macOS, and iPadOS, involving remote code execution via malicious image files. MongoDB has a high-severity vulnerability, CVE 202514847, which could lead to data and credential leakage. SAP NetWeaver Visual Composer is also critical, with CVE 202531324, allowing full system compromise. Similarly, Cisco Firewall Management Center has a critical vulnerability, CVE 202559718, which could enable authentication bypass and configuration theft. Fortinet's FortiOS and FortiWeb are impacted by CVE 202562549, allowing unauthenticated remote code execution on VPN servers. Microsoft Windows RRAS has a critical CVE 202520265, which could enable code execution through email preview vulnerabilities. Microsoft Office and Outlook also face critical vulnerabilities that could lead to full system takeover and ransomware deployment, such as CVE 202.553770. Finally, Microsoft SharePoint Server has a critical CVE that needs immediate attention due to its potential impact. In summary, these vulnerabilities highlight the importance of rapid patching and proactive security measures to defend against active threats targeting enterprise software today. Let's start by looking at some common pitfalls to avoid when managing security and AI in our workflows. First, delaying patch management cycles can leave vulnerabilities open for longer than they should be, increasing risk. Ignoring unpatched critical CVEs is just as dangerous, because these are known vulnerabilities that attackers can exploit easily. Automating high-stakes decisions without proper oversight can lead to serious errors. It's crucial to keep human judgment involved. Skipping IP rights considerations might save time initially, but it can cause legal issues later. Accepting AI output without review is risky. Always verify the results before acting on them. Using unapproved or shadow AI tools might seem convenient, but it can compromise security and compliance. Sharing client or personal data without proper safeguards is a major privacy concern that we must avoid at all costs. So, what should we do instead? First, monitor the CISA KEV catalog regularly to stay informed about emerging vulnerabilities. Make sure to patch all critical software CVEs promptly to close security gaps. Document your AI usage transparently. This helps with accountability and compliance. Always anonymize data before inputting it into AI systems to protect privacy. Keep humans in the decision loop, especially for critical actions, to prevent automation errors. Use only approved AI tools that meet our security standards. And finally, verify and review all AI outputs carefully before making any important decisions. In summary, these best practices help us maintain security, ensure compliance, and make smarter, safer use of AI in our operations. All right, let's walk through the next steps to get us all aligned and secure. First, everyone should review our organization's AI acceptable use policy. If you haven't seen it, or if one doesn't exist in your team, be sure to speak with your manager about it. It's important we all understand how to responsibly use AI tools. Next, I want to highlight the importance of AI training. All staff are encouraged to enroll in the mandatory AI literacy module available on our learning platform. This will help you understand the fundamentals and best practices for working with AI safely and effectively. Moving on, it's crucial that we only use AI platforms that are on our approved tools list. Always check this list before starting any work task involving AI. Using unapproved tools could expose us to unnecessary risks. When it comes to security, everyone plays a part. If you spot any misuse, data risks, unpatched systems, or gaps in policies, report these immediately to your AI lead or IT security team. Your vigilance helps protect our entire organization. Lastly, for IT and security teams, there's a key responsibility. Work closely together to ensure all critical vulnerabilities, like those related to SharePoint, Fortinet, SAP, and Cisco, are patched promptly. Keeping our systems secure is a shared responsibility. By following these steps, we're building a safer, more informed environment for everyone. Let's look at some real-world examples of AI failures that have cost companies millions and caused serious brand damage. First, we have the case where human editors must verify every AI-generated output before publication. There are no exceptions. For instance, a summer reading list was published with books that don't exist, completely hallucinated by AI. The author admitted to using AI and failing to fact-check, and the story went viral worldwide. This highlights how AI hallucinations can lead to reputational harm and misinformation. Next, in the US in 2025, the Chicago Sun-Times reported on AI hallucinated journalism causing severe reputational damage. Human oversight is crucial, especially in journalism, where accuracy impacts credibility. Moving to healthcare in 2024, the AI system, NH Predict denied elderly patients care claims at scale, with a staggering 90% error rate on appeals. 9 out of 10 denials were overturned by humans, and now there are lawsuits. This underscores why AI should never make high-stakes decisions affecting people's health or livelihoods without proper human oversight. In the insurance sector, United Healthcare faced federal scrutiny in 2024 after their AI denial algorithm was exposed. They found that test accounts, or zombie accounts, left active for years, posed serious security risks. This shows how neglecting proper account management can lead to data breaches and liability issues. Then, in 2025, McHire, Com's AI hearing platform exposed personal data of 64,000 applicants because a test admin account was protected with a simple password and left active for 6 years. This demonstrates the importance of auditing AI vendor accounts regularly to prevent security vulnerabilities. Another example is Volkswagen's Cariad project in Germany, which aimed to create a unified AI-driven OS for all their brands. Instead, it collapsed under 20 million lines of buggy code, delaying major vehicle launches and costing over $2 billion. This teaches us to start small, iterate, and avoid overreach when deploying AI at scale. In Canada, in 2024, Air Canada's chatbot gave a grieving passenger incorrect bereavement fare advice. The court ruled that the airline was legally liable for its chatbot's misinformation. This establishes a key point. You are 100% responsible for what your AI tells customers, so rigorous testing is essential. Finally, in Hong Kong in 2024, an engineering firm, Arup, had a deepfake video call scam. An employee transferred $25.5 million based on fake video calls from AI-generated deepfakes, claiming to be CFO and colleagues. Never act solely on video calls without verifying requests through secondary channels. This kind of fraud can be devastating. All of these examples show that AI deployment mistakes aren't just technical. They have serious legal, financial, and reputational consequences. It's vital to understand that AI can fail in ways that cost companies dearly, and proper safeguards are essential. Let's take a look at the scale of AI failure and the significant business and financial risks involved. First, it's important to recognize that a staggering $442 billion was lost globally in AI-enabled scams and deepfake fraud in 2025. This highlights how vulnerable organizations are to malicious AI-driven attacks. Additionally, many companies are pulling back from AI initiatives. In fact, 42% of companies abandoned most of their AI projects in 2025, often because they failed to deliver tangible results or ROI. When we look at investments, over $644 billion was spent on AI in 2025, yet 95% of AI pilots delivered zero measurable profit and loss impact. This indicates a disconnect between investment and actual value creation. Industry data from MIT, McKinsey, Gartner, and Goldman Sachs shows that most AI efforts, between 70 and 95%, fail to reach production, which underscores the high rate of unsuccessful deployments. In summary, unchecked AI adoption can lead to enormous costs, financial, reputational, and legal, making it crucial for organizations to understand and mitigate these risks proactively. Now, as we wrap up, I want to emphasize the importance of responsible AI use within your organization. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your AI champion or the IT security team. They're here to support you. Remember, staying secure is a shared responsibility. Keep your systems patched promptly, report any concerns you might have, and stay alert because the threat landscape is constantly evolving. Use AI intentionally and responsibly. Think about how it can amplify human potential rather than replace it. AI is a powerful tool, but the quality of the outcomes really depends on the judgment and expertise of the people using it. So, always apply careful thought and ethical considerations when deploying AI in your work. Ultimately, AI is here to serve as an aid, something that, when used wisely, can enhance our capabilities and help us achieve better results. Thank you for your attention, and let's continue to use AI thoughtfully and securely to drive success.